Hi Aquarius, this is going to be your general reading based off of what are you looking for when it comes to a soulmate? Like, what is your soul looking for? Because I feel like most of the time we find ourselves in these repetitive cycles with relationships with different people, like basically the same storyline but a different person. And it's because we're not in touch with what we truly desire, what we truly need and want from a partner. I feel like, while we're here on this journey in life, it's, part of our, like our mission, this innate feeling is to discover who we truly are, and not what society has, made us, not what society has made us believe that we are. And it's kind of hard to distinguish the two. So I feel like we get caught up in just wanting love, but not actually knowing specifically what works for us and what doesn't work for us. I feel like most people feel like coming up with like a list of pros and cons, or like a list of your boundaries in relationships with love, or even friendships too. This can relate to, or family, the list of things you're willing to accept and the things you're not willing to accept. It's really important that you understand what your boundaries are with people, just because if you're not aware, then you're going to go into a relationship where you have no boundaries, and you're essentially telling somebody without telling somebody. You're doing it energetically, like, take advantage of me, walk all over me, take advantage of my kindness, if that's how you are in relationships. And then we get mad about it, and we don't really realize that we're part of the problem, right? Some of us self-reflect once a relationship is over. Some of us don't. There's a lot of us who go from one relationship to the next, and it's like, it makes it that much more harder to actually find a partner that really will fulfill all your needs that your soul needs. So sometimes we stay longer in relationships or connections, longer than we should, because of that Neptune energy. Neptune is that planet that's in all of our natal charts, which rules Pisces. And it's a water sign. It's about, intuition, psychic abilities. And then there's also La La Land within Neptune energy. So there's like a fine line to discern, is what I'm seeing and feeling right now real, or am I making it something it's not? And the thing about Neptune is it's a real fucking trickster. It will make you feel something is so fucking real. And it's not to say it's not, because when I reflect and I think back to these relationships I've been in, I always think to myself, I'm like, how did I attract these fucking people in my life? And it's because it's not that these people were bad. It's just that I was seeing their potential. I truly believe in my heart of hearts, I'm always seeing people's higher self, who they really are, what's in their soul. And just because of my placements, that sounds right. Like I'm able to see, below the surface. I'm able to see the things that are not being shown. And sometimes these guys I've dated aren't even aware of this part of themselves, but they're aware of the energy that I provide to them while being with them, that I'm making them feel good, that I'm making them, that I think so highly of them. And I'm not saying feel good, right? Because all these relationships have ended tragically. So it's like, it's not that I've always made these people feel good. But what I'm trying to say is that, for me, even being psychic and intuitive, it's like, I think to myself, like, well, how did I not know? How did I not know? And I think back and I'm like, no, I did, except I got too caught up in seeing the potential that they could be. And it's like, well, not everybody reaches their potential. It's like either they want to be who they could be or they don't. And it's like, you can't force somebody to be something they're not. And even though their highest self is technically a part of them, it's up to that person, that individual, to reach that within themselves if they want to. So I'm going to give you an example that I've been giving in all other videos. So if your Neptune squares Venus, so Neptune, you want to see what aspects it has within your natal chart, like the energy it holds and how it plays out in your everyday life. So squaring is that energy within astrology where it's like two planets, pretty much like you're gonna feel this strong ass energy. And when it's a square, it usually means it's a karmic lesson that needs to be learned. You're not going to learn to master it until the second part of your life. So it's like the first part of your life, if you have Neptune squaring Venus, it's like you're gonna have a bad time. You're gonna have a rough time because you got too much Neptune energy. There's too much fog, there's too much clouds, there's too much illusion, and you're not even aware of it. You just end up getting out of these relationships, and you're just, blaming the other person, thinking, oh my God, how did these losers find me? And it's like, well, it takes two to tango. It's you too, because you're only seeing a part of them that technically doesn't exist. It doesn't exist in the 3D realm. It exists in a higher realm, but it's like, that's nice, but we don't live there. We live here. So for another example, if Neptune squares your ascendant, which is your rising sign, I'm sorry for the background noise. It means that you're going to have a rough time judging people for who they truly are. When you get to meet people, when you know people, it's like you may come up with assumptions about who you believe these people to be, but it's like, it turned out you weren't right, but you really believe that this person is who they are. And then sometimes they may surprise you for being somebody else. This is what Neptune will do. Neptune will fuck you up, depending on the aspects, so it's like, if you were to look into your natal chart and you can see how Neptune is playing out in your love life, you can Google that and look into that and see how you can work on that and catch that behavior so you don't fall into that repetitive pattern, because repetitive patterns are things we signed up for, our soul signed up for with those individuals specifically to teach us lessons. And it's like, it's not going to stop until you see what the actual problem is. I know it's so straightforward, but sometimes some people need to hear it and it's like, wow, I never thought of it that way before. Or some of us are just like, yeah, listen, I know what I do. And then they don't want to change anything. And it's like, sometimes even those people are aware, but when they see it in front of them, like if they were to look into their natal chart and then see those aspects I'm talking about and see how it affects them and see how that resonates within their personal life and past history, that may motivate them to actually work on themselves and change so they can get a better outcome. Because especially when you have the square aspects, that is specifically an energy for you to master in this lifetime, and it's a difficult one. So that's just food for thought. So I during my first spiritual awakening back in 2016, I was really all about like these positive quotes that really like motivated me. Also, I always reflected after each relationship I was in, and always thought about the things like the things I expect moving forward and the things I will not tolerate moving forward. And the thing about these things is it's supposed to stay in front of you. Otherwise, you technically forget about it. But really, you don't forget about it. It's like in your subconscious mind, but that part gets like diluted. It's somewhere back there, but we don't honor it. So, which is usually when you create these boundaries for yourself and your relationships and your love life, we usually start slowly but surely, let's say this is your boundary and then it's like you fall for somebody hard. You're like, okay, I'll just move that a little bit. I'll just change that a little bit. That's my boundary, but let me, and then before you know it, you're in the same cycle again. So it's like, it's very important to understand what your boundaries are and actually sticking to it and knowing what it is you want in a partner and knowing what it is you just can't accept. Even if you want to accept it, it's just like, time shows you, it's like, it doesn't work for you. It doesn't work for your energy. So I wrote down years ago, and I didn't stick to this, by the way. When I find someone who can make me laugh, smile, and who has very similar goals as mine and actually acts on them, then I have found my match. Someone who challenges me in good ways and someone who accepts me for who I am, the good, the bad, and the ugly. I have then found my match. So I also wrote this. We're inspired to understand what we can't comprehend. So this is what I truly feel will hold you back, will keep you staying in these relationships where we'll lie to ourselves without even knowing we're lying to ourselves, because it's that Neptune energy. But also, you know, Venus as well. It is love. Venus is the planet that rules love, beauty, aesthetics, money, all things beautiful. So it's not that you don't love this person. You know, it's not that you never loved your exes, right? Like there was love, you loved them, but it's like at some point you were supposed to leave, right? Or maybe you guys did. Maybe you guys are those type that know when to go and you go. I always stayed way past my welcome, and there's consequences to pay for that when you don't respect yourself. So I feel like the energy that holds us in relationships longer than it should is because we're inspired to understand what we can't comprehend. It's like, but when it's good, it's good. But when it's bad, it's bad. It's like, there's got to be a missing piece to the puzzle that we can figure out together. We can do this. We can do this. And it's like, it can only work if you're bringing a new energy and that person's bringing a new energy. Those are the only ways on again, off again relationships change and for the good. So other than that, it's like if we don't comprehend that and if we don't actually act on that, sometimes we'll just stay because we feel that connection, we feel that chemistry, but yet in the back of our mind, it's that higher self, that intuition like kicking in saying, listen, we're not happy here. Are we leaving today, or are we just gonna like prolong this? And we kind of just like shut down our higher self because we don't want to believe it to be true, because we've invested in time, we've invested our future, and it's like once we decide to call it quits, it's like it's a death, right? It's like everything you created in your mind with you and this person, it's like done forever. And that's really painful. And it's like you kind of just want to avoid dealing with that. But then at the same time, it's like, what's more important? Like moving on with your life and continuing on, knowing that there's something out there better for you. Like truly, if you could actually believe that, because it's like when people would tell me that during my breakups, I'd be like, something better. He was something better, you know? And it's like, no, actually he wasn't. That Neptune energy left a long time ago. And it's like, okay, yeah, Spirit, you're right. You know, like I see now that I was just holding on to something that really never was. So it's very, very important to check out, you know, how Neptune is playing out in your love life, because it will make you unfortunately settle and you don't even know you're settling. You could be that person that's like, I will never settle. And then all of a sudden you look back and you're like, holy shit, I was willing to settle with all of these people. So yeah, so I'm going to pull some cards. I'm going to see what would make your soul happy within a soulmate, like what your soul is looking for, because this is our truest self. And sometimes we're not connected to this. So I'm going to pull some cards. I'm going to channel, and, you know, maybe it'll give you food for thought over the next few days. Okay. And then I'm going to pull some of these pictures with quotes. And if it comes in reverse, I don't care. We don't care about that. All right. So what do we got for you? What is your soul looking for in a soulmate? 7 of Wands. It just got dark so quick. Okay, you guys can still see though. Okay. What are you looking for in a partner, a soulmate? What is your soul looking for? Knight of Wands in reverse. What is your soul looking for in a soulmate? You know what I'm beginning to realize, I believe is a trend with this specific reading? I feel like what's coming in is the current energy you guys are going through. And it's like you're looking for the complete opposite of that. And maybe this is why it's like a wake-up call into noticing that Neptune energy. Like how mind-blowing it is. Oh, shit, I got caught. Oh, I was trying to cover it up. Okay, 2 more cards. What would make your soul happy with a soulmate? Okay, I'm going to take this. One more. Ooh. Okay. Let's pull some of these. So we have 7 of Wands, and then we have Knight of Wands in reverse. We have 5 of Cups, and then we have Queen of Swords in reverse. Let people do what they want to do to make them happy. Mind your own business and do what you need to do to make you happy. Oh, just taking this one. Never doubt yourself. Never change who you are. Don't care what people think and just go for it. Okay, there's a clear message coming through here. If your compassion does not include yourself, it is incomplete. Brittany, yes, I fucking love her. Okay, like, let's not judge me. Judging. Poor girl, she's been through so much. Okay, so I'm gonna close my eyes. I'm gonna channel. Oh wait, let me show the got all this. Yep. Okay. All right. What would make your soul happy with a partner? I mean, with a soulmate. Open door. Open. Being open. I definitely saw before the door a home and a crystal ball. So home. So open, open. Ooh, the doorknob comes off. Somebody screws it off. So it's just like, what is it now? It's just like a hole in the door. But something's coming through. Is it a paintbrush? Hold on. A ring. Commitment. Seeing somebody in the dark with somebody. I don't know, like a cave or their mind. Being alone. I feel like I'm seeing, I feel like it's you going through toothbrushes, like cleaning up the mind. So what? Commitments on the mind, happiness on the mind. Oh, this is in your I'm seeing your subconscious. Hold on. Oh, you're not in, oh, ho. Ooh, I'm excited now. Okay, listen up. I got some news for you. So what's going on in your subconscious mind that you haven't touched on is commitment. There's something about commitment and something about happiness. So I'm getting like a do not enter vibe, like do not enter. So this is, oh, solitude. This is needing solitude to figure out your subconscious mind. What does this have to do with a soulmate? Hold on, I'm confused. I'm gonna open my eyes for a second. So 7 of Wands. So this is like somebody with their guard up. Knight of Wands in reverse. Like a passionate message or feeling a passionate way. Oh, these were coming through as the brushes. I don't know if you guys can see that. in your head. So this is going on in your head. Something about happiness and commitment, and it's in reverse, but you're trying to figure something out. It's in the dark. So but this is what you look for. Okay, so it's like open communication. I feel like this maybe the current energy. I'm not sure, but this is definitely coming through as like you and your mind trying to find something, trying to find your happiness involving commitment. Oh, this was the doorknob. This was the doorknob. And you took it out and you put a paintbrush in it. What else did I say? A paintbrush and what else? Was it a ring? I forgot what it was. So it's like, oh no, this was you in your cave. This was coming off as the fence. Like, don't fucking come in here. Okay. The doorknob. You want an open door, which would be reverse. Open about communication. Open about, like, not being in the dark about whether somebody's happy or wants to commit or not. Something like that. It's like you don't want to be left in the dark. You want clear communication. Something like that. Let's see. What is your soul looking for? Maybe to be expressive. Like maybe you aren't expressive and it's like you're meant to be expressive. Opening a drawer. There's a lot of fears around this. Opening a drawer. What is that? There's a tree and a ring in a tree. Traffic lights in a tree. Crystal ball in a tree. Something about your heart in a tree. You want growth. You want you want a future with somebody where there's commitment. I feel like your shadow's trying to leave you or something like that. Like, or you're trying to leave your shadow. There's something up with this, like trying to part. I'm gonna open my eyes. Like trying to part from the things about yourself that are negative, that you feel are negative. You're trying to step out of this. So maybe you feel like you're kind of like the reason why you get yourself in repetitive cycles. Maybe you're not open. You're supposed to be open. Maybe you're supposed to be passionate and open about the things that you want, right? This would be somebody coming out of their cave and there's water, emotions. This would be somebody who's balanced with mentally balanced. Swords is ear. So it's, you know, Aquarius, Libra, Gemini energy, which is all mental. well, much more than that, but this is what this card represents, like having a knowing. Never doubt yourself, never change who you are. Don't care what people think and just go for it. I feel like I'm seeing a teardrop from you and somebody putting commitment in your ear. It's like a crystal, it turns into flowers. Wait, never doubt yourself. Never change who you are. Don't care what people think and just go for it. So it's like you're looking for like a cheerleader, I feel like, you know, somebody who motivates you. Sorry. Something about looking at your watch, looking at the time. And before then I saw lots of people. So I'm going to say the obvious, you know, maybe somehow okay, I'm opening my eyes. Maybe somehow this affects your relationships, looking at what other people are doing. Maybe feeling rushed to do what everybody else is doing. Something like that. But it's like that would be a mistake. You can't focus on what other people are doing. It's like we all have our own purpose, and it's like this is going to come, especially if this is like a feeling you've always felt within you, that maybe you're in touch with or not in touch with, but somewhere within you this like resonates with you, then it's like, well, that's going to happen for you. So don't focus on something about other people. Let me see what this is. I feel like you're mean to yourself. Like on the inside. Yeah, and this has to do with inner child wounds. I'm seeing it. If your compassion does not include yourself, it is incomplete. I feel like I saw you like looking at yourself in the mirror and like, I don't want to say hating yourself, but like something like that. And it stems from childhood. So like how to get out of that type of energy is thinking about the negative things you think about yourself. Let's say you had a really close friend who was venting to you about those same things you say about yourself, but they're saying it about themselves. And it's like, what kind words would you say to them? Like, what would be like your realist reaction to that in regards to advice? Like, what would you say? And it's like, well, can't you do that for yourself? You don't deserve that. You don't deserve self-love. You know, it's like, literally, we are our own worst critic. Our own worst critic. You deserve to be good to yourself. I mean, this is, you know, we all do this, but some of us do it more so than others, to the point where it really affects our self-worth. And then therefore people will treat us based off of how we feel about ourselves. Even if we don't show it, it's an energy. Energy doesn't lie. It can try, but it won't. So it's like, if you don't see the beauty in you, it's like, how will others? You know, people will just go with that. People will believe what you want them to believe. It's very simple. So it's like, you need to believe that you are beautiful. No matter what you've done, no matter what you've said, it's like, your soul knew no better at that time. So it's like, whatever these thoughts are that lead you to these moments where you just kind of hate yourself, it's like, well, what got you there? You know, and it's like, just forgive yourself, whatever that is. It's like, you know, and if it's all physical, if it's like material, it's like, I wasn't picking up on that, to be honest. So you're gonna have to hold that energy where you see fit. But yes, I'm not even gonna comment on that. Yeah, this has to do with comparison. Comparing what other people are doing. Who gives a fuck what other people are doing? You're going to bring this type of energy into your relationships, and your spouses are going to pick up on that shit. And it's like, you're going to make them feel like they're never good enough. Like they always have to compete. Even if you don't talk about this, like it's going to be coming out in different ways. And it's annoying. Honestly, it's annoying. It's like, nobody needs to keep up with the Joneses. They need to keep up with you. That's the attitude to have. They need to keep up with you. You're the star. Fuck all these other people and what they're doing. I mean, good for them, you know, it's friends, family, whoever, but it's like, if you compare yourself, then what you're doing in life or in these relationships, it's like, you're not going to feel good. You're just not. I do that too, where I'm like, I see these people and I'm like, I think, you know, okay, well, why aren't I there yet? That I feel like is my main thought. I'm like, why aren't I there yet? And it's like, I know why, because I know what I want and I haven't found it yet. That's why. Very simple. There's nothing wrong with me. I kind of sort of knew my whole life, but I kind of sort of didn't. Wasn't in touch with that. It's like when you kind of sort of know this energy, you're not going to embody it until you see it like head on, like deal with it head on. It's one thing to kind of sort of know what you want, but then to really know what you want and stay focused on that. Most people don't know what they want. So what am I seeing in regards to what your soul wants? Your soul wants, and there's nothing wrong with this at all, a little bit of encouragement from your partner. A little bit of, you look fucking good. You look like a snack. You can't be bringing in this comparison thing, because it doesn't matter if you're verbally talking about it or not. People are going to pick up on it. It's going to play out somehow in your relationships. Focus on what you want. So like, I think about this sometimes. I'm like, okay. I gotta be honest with you. I feel like this is hard for me to try to relate to, because it's like, I just, like, I feel like I have this energy within myself personally where it's like, I know what I bring, like, I know what it is, and I know what we can do together, you know? So it's like, that is so powerful within itself that it's like, I don't care what other people are doing. I don't care that they're 5 years ahead of me within a family, a fucking home or whatever. Great for them. I'm so happy for them. But like, I'm where I'm at specifically because something bigger is meant for me. That's how I look at it. So you should be playing mind games with yourself too, because at the end of the day, it's not mind games. It's what your soul signed up for, and that's the truth. If your compassion does not include yourself, it is incomplete. If you are being mean to yourself, try to, when you catch yourself doing this, try to think something positive too. And it could help you get out of this energy, because your partner is going to pick up on this. And it's just like, nobody ever feels good when the other partner doesn't feel good. You know, it's a ripple effect. And it's just like your well-being matters. You matter. So what are you looking for? I feel like open communication, passion, commitment, happiness, somebody who doesn't go to their cave or like, you know, or at least stay too long without communicating, something regarding balance. Otherwise, this is imbalance. This is somebody who walks away. This is somebody with no message. This is somebody who protects themselves, you know? So it's like, that's not what your soul wants. I could tell you right now. I don't need to know you to let you know that's not what your soul would make your soul happy. So that's what I got for you. I hope that helped. I hope that resonated. Yeah.